Washington Journal continues.
In our final 45 minutes this morning, we are interested in talking to you and getting your thoughts on how the government shutdown has impacted you. We're dividing the lines regionally this time, which means that if you live in the Eastern and Central time zones, you can call us at 202-585-3880. If you live in the Mountain and Pacific time zones, it's 202-585-3881. You can always tweet us at C-SPAN WJ. And if you want to send us an email too, you can do that at journal@cspan.org. Our hope is for this 45 minutes is to find out how life outside the Beltway, especially if the shutdown outside of the Beltway, which we call the Washington, D.C. metro area, has affected you. So if it has or it has not, feel free to give your thoughts. Again, the phone lines will remain on the screen, and we'll take tweets and emails as they come in. To kind of set up this conversation, we turned to a story that was out of Texas yesterday. Dealt with a billionaire, dealt with the topics of Head Start, and here to connect the dots for us is Cindy George. She's a reporter with the Houston Chronicle and joins us via Skype. Ms. George, thanks for joining us first and foremost.
Thank you for having me, Pedro.
The story that you wrote about this story dealt with a gentleman named John Arnold. First, who is he?
Well, Mr. Arnold is a former hedge fund manager that cut his teeth at the Enron company here in Houston. We're the energy capital of the world, and a lot of people made their fortunes here. John Arnold is one of those people. He is referred to as the king of natural gas, having made $250 million for Enron about a decade ago. He left just before the company fell, and he started his own hedge fund company through which he has become a billionaire.
And so the headline to this story says that he and his wife, Laura, donated $10 million for Head Start. Can you kind of fill in the details?
Well, the couple has pledged $10 million to fill in the gap for Head Start programs across the country that either lost their funding on October 1st or are in jeopardy of not having enough money to run during the shutdown. What they have done is basically given a no-interest gap loan, a forgivable loan, so that programs that were depending on federal funding for last week's expenses don't have to remain shut down. 7 programs in 6 states, most of those states were in the South, had to shut their doors last week, but most of those programs have brought the children back in today.
And does the money come from a foundation or does it come from his personal wealth?
Mr. Arnold and his wife Laura, who is a former corporate lawyer, do have a private Houston-based foundation called the Laura and John Arnold Foundation, but this particular loan was provided from them as individuals.
So have they ever done anything like this before, as donating these kind of some money to Head Start programs or similar education programs?
Their private foundation is very interested in 4 key areas, and one of them is K-12 education. Their foundation really aims to try to solve problems through research and finding out the root cause and coming up with a solution. They have donated millions through the foundation to charter schools that are high-performing in New Orleans, and they are also, through the foundation, working on initiatives such as why we are obese, what makes us obese, and how to solve that problem, as well as an initiative that looks at why some communities have more upward mobility than others, and trying to figure out how to replicate those results in other parts of the country.
So as far as the states that are going to be receiving the money, could you name off some of the states, and was Texas one of those states?
Texas was not one of those states, but the states included Alabama and Georgia. Connecticut was another one of the states.
And so something else interesting, when you were doing the story, anything else interesting about the donation, why they did it, something before we let you go, and something to pass on to our viewers?
Well, the Arnolds are the parents to 3 young children, and they are concerned about a lot of the problems that are plaguing our society and how to fix them. And certainly Head Start provides a education in nutrition and parenting for the parents of low-income children, and they wanted to make sure that that program did not falter during the shutdown.
And Cindy George, do you know if this is going to be a one-time donation, or do you think that has there be any indication that other types of money will come from the couple?
Well, they have invested millions in various programs. They're not the type of people that do the one-off programs, so this is kind of a different thing for them. They try to invest in programs that are finding solutions over the long haul. So this was a very special gift from them, and again, it was a personal pledge to bridge the gap for this program. The programs, when they are funded after the shutdown, this money will have to be paid back. But the foundation has been very focused on helping programs that work on issues of obesity and childhood, early childhood education and education initiatives in general.
Cindy George with the Houston Chronicle joining us via Skype to talk about this donation. Ms. George, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Again,